All right, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High Elohim in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahushua HaMashiach, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. This is the young Hebrew by the name of Shamar Yehuda, aka Slim Wolf the Jew. And today is just going to be, it's not going to be too short, it's not going to be too long, but today we're just going to do a little edification dealing on the lineage of Job. And we're talking about the righteous man Job, the one that Yahuwah allowed Satan to touch, make him sick, but didn't allow him to kill him. It took him through a lot of things. And this is a topic where people either choose to be edified or they choose not to be edified, because some people are just in denial that Israel, some people have been taught that Israel is just the only righteous nation on the planet, and that they've only been taught that Israel can only operate in righteousness, and they could never prove that Job came from the lineage of Israel, or Israelites. They just go off of filler and their own understanding, when we know that's just false. But we're going to go to the book of Acts chapter 10, verse 34 through 35. I'm going to show you that the Most High, He'll accept anybody if they are righteous. The book of Acts chapter 10, verse 34 through 35. Excuse me. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, "Of a truth that I perceive that Elohim is no respecter of persons, but in every nation he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. But in every nation," so that includes the Edomites, the Moabites, the Canaanites, the Amorites, the Egyptians, Perizzites, all of them nations. But a lot of people like to say, they like to go to this scripture right here to prove that he was black, to say he wasn't an Edomite. Job wasn't an Edomite. Let's go to the book of Job, chapter 30, verse 30. It reads this: "My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burnt with heat." Job said his skin is black upon him, meaning he's, dark skinned, black, right? But, they say, well, Job couldn't have been an Edomite because the Edomites are white. But Job just said he was black. But let's go to the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 1 through 8. Job chapter 1, verse 1 through 8. And it reads this: "There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job. And that man was perfect and upright, one that feared Elohim and eschewed evil." Keep that in mind. He was born in the land of Uz. We're going to keep that in mind now. We already know he righteous. He was perfect. But here go verse 2. "And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters." Now we're going to keep that in mind too. "And his substance was also was 7,000 sheep, and 300,000 and 3,000 camels, and 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 she asses, and very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, and every one his day sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them. And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, It may be that my sons have sinned, and cursed Elohim in their hearts. Thus did Job continually. Now there was a day when the sons of Elohim came to present themselves before Yahuwah, and Hashatan, or Satan, came also among them. And Yahuwah said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered Yahuwah and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And Yahuwah said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, that one that feareth Elohim and escheweth evil? So it's saying that Job is perfect, he escheweth evil, and he's righteous. He's a servant of Yah. Now, Job 1:1 said he dwelt in the land of Uz. Now let's go to the book of Lamentations. The book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 21. Let's see who dwells in the land of Uz. It says this. This is Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup shall also pass through unto thee, and thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked. O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. Now, I've heard that, oh, well, the Edomites, they just went there to go, sit there sometimes and this and that. Well, let's see what the land of Uz is according to history. Where does the land of Uz dwell at? I'm going to go to some backups. It goes right here. All right, the land of Uz is a location mentioned in the Old Testament, most prominently in the book of Job, which begins, there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. We just read that. According to Rashi, Uz is actually Aram, as Uz, the firstborn son of Abraham's brother, noted in Genesis 22:21, was of the children of Nachor, which is Aram. According to the War Scroll, the Dead Sea Scrolls, the land of Uz is beyond the Euphrates, possibly in relation to Aram. In column 2, verse 11, it is noted, they shall fight against the rest of the sons of Aramea, Uz, Hul, Togar, Mesha, who are beyond the Euphrates. But let's get down here. It says this, Uz is sometimes identified with the kingdom of Edom, roughly in the area of the modern-day southwestern Jordan and southern Israel. It says it's sometimes identified with the kingdom of Edom. Now, if it's sometimes identified by the kingdom of Edom, where could it possibly be? Big chances in the land of Edom, correct? But a lot of y'all will say, well, nah, that Job, that's not an Edomite that's talking about right there. That's talking about Israelite. And the first thing they'll do, we'll go to Genesis 46:13 right quick. It says this, and the sons of Issachar, Tola and Salachyah. The sons of Issachar were Tola, Phuvah, and Job, and Shimron, and Job. That's the first thing they do. So we're gonna go to we'll go to the concordance right quick, because the concordance always comes through with the definitions of names of people and where they come from. I'm gonna go to the concordance right quick. Y'all gotta excuse me because I have it in my Google Notes because it wouldn't want to pop up earlier today. But hold on. All right. It's loading. Okay, hold on. Job. There you go. Right here. The concordance differences right here. So this is for Genesis 36 and Genesis 46:13. That's Strong's H1 H3102. It says Job, a son of Issachar, perhaps a form of Yobab, but more probably erroneous transcription for Yashub, an Israelite. Job. Let's keep going down. For Job 1:1, it says this, Eob, famous, the patriarch famous for his patience against Job. Here we go. Strong's 57:80 for the land of Uz. This is where he dwelt at. Son of Aram, also Nahor, also an Edomite, also perhaps a district east of Paal. So the concordance says that Job was a descendant of Edom. But yet, people still teach that he's an Israelite. Points out for that, man. But let's go to the Septuagint, which I've been imploring a lot of y'all to cop for the longest, man. Let's go to the Septuagint, and we're going to see Salachyah. We'll go to Salachyah. We'll stay in the KJV for just this one instance. Hold on. We're going to go to the book of Job, chapter 42, verse 17 in the KJV. It reads this. So Job died being old and full of days. So it just stops right there. And anybody who knows the history, the comparison between KJV and Septuagint, when the translators of the KJV copy from the Masoretic text and the Septuagint, but they left out a lot of stuff that they copied from the Septuagint. I believe they did it because to cause confusion. That's why so much confusion amongst Israel now. All right, so and we're gonna go to the book of Job, chapter 42, in the Septuagint right now because we just went to KJV. All right, and Job died, an old man full of days, and it is written that he will rise up again with those whom Yahuwah raises up. So he's gonna rise up again with those whom Yahuwah raises up. So that would mean he was righteous according to scripture, right? Yeah, I thought so. Let's get this. This man is described in the Syriac book as living in the land of Osis, or the land of Uz, that's Uz in Greek, on the borders of Idumea and Arabia. And his name before was Jobab. Keep that in mind. His name was Jobab before it was Job. And having taken an Arabian wife, an Arab wife, he begot a son whose name was Enon, and he himself was the son of his father Zair. Keep that in mind too. One of the sons of Esau. So that means that Zer was the son of Esau, which means Job, who was called Jobab, was a descendant of Zer. That would make him a what? An Edomite. And of his mother Basora, so that he was fifth from Abram. And these were the kings who reigned in Edom, which country he also ruled over. First Balak, the son of Beor, the name of his city was Dinaba. But after Balak, Jobab, who was called Job, after him, Esau, who was governor of the country of Thaman, which is Teman in Greek, and after him Adad, the son of Barad, who destroyed Midian, in the plain of Moab. The name of his city was Githium, and his friends who came to him were Eliphaz, the children of Esau, king of the Temanites, Baldad, servant of the Salachyans, Sophar, the king of the Minians. These were the children of Esau. These were 3 Edomite friends that he had. All right, so let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 36, and we're going to read almost the whole chapter. Almost the whole chapter. So it says this. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, Elohibamah, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite, and Bashemeth, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebajoth. So we know Ishmael came from 2 black people. Hagar the Egyptian, forefather Abraham, a Hebrew. He wasn't a forefather, by the way. It was Eber who was the forefather of the Hebrews. But anyways, 2 black people make, in the camp logic mind, 2 black people make a stringy-haired, barely tanned Arab. Where's the logic in that? That's almost as bad as them believing that Rebecca and Isaac made a black child and a white child. But anyways, so we know that Esau took up 4 black women. 4 black women, right? So even if Esau himself was black, the children that came out of his 4 black wives and him would be mixed children, right? They look like they be black and they have a little European in them, right? And then they took black wives themselves. Let's keep going. And Elohibamah bare Jewish, Jalam and Korah. These are the sons of Esau, which were born unto him in the land of Canaan. So all his children were born in the land of Canaan with all these black people around them, black women. So they mate with black women. Their children will look more black, right? And then the generation after that, they mate with black women. It'd be more children that will look more black after that, right? So even if Esau himself was a white man, which we know that's not true, his descendants wouldn't even be black because they were surrounded by nothing but black women to mate with. All right. Lego. Verse 8, it says this. Thus dwelt Esau on Mount Seir Esau is Edom. Esau in Mount Seir. Esau goes to Mount Seir, which is in Arabia, right? Now, didn't we just read that Job lived on the borders of Idumea and Arabia? So if he said he was black, what you think the color of all the other people were? Black. Well, quote unquote black, but they were brown, dark shades of brown. God. All right. Verse 9, it says, these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. So we're going to go all the way down to verse 15. It says this, these were the dukes of the sons of Esau, the sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn son of Esau, Duke Teman, Duke Omar, Duke Zepho, Duke Kenaz, Duke Korah, Duke Gatam, and Duke Amalek. We've already established that Amalek was black. I'm not going over that. If you want to, you can check out the YouTube video on my channel, Who is Esau? We already discussed Amalek is not the fake Khazarian Jewish-looking people over there. But Teman, we've already established that Esau was black, so this is Temanites. We already know Eliphaz came from Temanites, but let's go to verse 28. It says this, the children of Dishan are Uz. Uz came out of the lineage of who? Esau, because the whole chapter, Genesis 36, is talking about the lineage of Esau. Okay? All right, now we're going to go to the verse 31. It says this, and these are the kings that reigned in the land of Edom before there reigned any king over the children of Israel. And Bela the son of Beor in Edom, and the name of this city was Dinah-Habab. And Bela died, and Jobab the son of Zerah. Didn't we just read that Job was called Jobab? And when he was a son of Zerah, who was a descendant of Esau. But let's continue. Jobab, the son of Zerah of Borzah, reigned in his stead. And Jobab died, and Husham of the land of Temani, or Teman, reigned in his stead. Now we're going to go all the way down to verse 40. And these are the names of the dukes that came of Esau according to their families after their places by their names, Duke Timnah, Duke Elva, Duke Jehdeth, Duke Elihobama, Elah, Duke Pinon, Duke Kenaz, Duke Teman, Duke Mibzar, Duke Magdiel, Duke Iram. These be the dukes of Edom, that's kings, according to their habitations in the land of their possession. He is Esau, the father of the Edomites. Interesting. So we already know Job was black, and we've just established that Jobab was Job. And he said his skin was black upon him. So that means every other Edomites were black, right? And we already know they dwelt in Mount Seir, Arabia, when we know that the original Arabians were black. Anybody who studied history, they know the original Arabians were black. Okay. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Okay, all right. Let me look at the comments. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Yes. Yeah, you already know Amuna. You already know Amina. Job was an Edomite. Yep. Yes, that is true. He was that nigga. I don't know about that part. Hey, Shabbat Shalom, Adir and Arterius. All right. So let's keep going. All right. So we're going to go to the book of Testament of Job. And everybody will be like, well, what's Testament of Job? Who wrote Testament of Job? And this and that. And they'll say, well, these people say it was non-canonical. Bro, who are these heathens to say what books in the word of Yah are non-canonical when our forefathers wrote books? This is our culture, not theirs. Who are they to say it? They only say that stuff because a lot of those lost books can actually help you based off common sense to see who the Israelites are. I'm not saying the 66 books can't do it, but those apocryphal books can help a lot. So my only question is, who are they to say what's canonical of the word of Yah and what's not? Okay? But let's go to the book of Job, the book of Testament of Job. All right? We're going to start at verse 1 of chapter 1. It says this, the book of the words of Job, the one called Jobab. All right. We just established that Jobab is Job. And in the book of Job. All right. Now here we go. Now on the day when had fallen ill, he began to settle his affair. He called his 7 sons and 3 daughters. 7 sons and 3 daughters. Let's go back to the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 2. It says this, and there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. 7 sons and 3 daughters. Let's go back to verse 2 in Testament of Job. He called his 7 sons and 3 daughters, whose names were Tersi, Koros, Hayan, Naki, Phoros, Fife, Puderan, Himeria, Cassia, and Amathea's horn. And when he had called his children and said, gather around, my children, gather round me, so that I may show you the things which the Lord, Salachyah, which Yahuwah did with me, and all the things which have happened to me. I am your father Job, fully engaged in endurance, but you are a chosen and an honored race from the seed of Jacob. But check this out. This is why he said that. The father of your mother. For I am from the sons of Esau, the brother of Jacob, of whom is your mother Dinah. Talking about Dinah the Israelite. From whom I begot you. My former wife died with the other 10 children in a bitter death. So hear me, children, and I will show you the things which have befallen me. Now we're going to go to chapter 2. Let's see what Job said. I used to be Jobab before Yahuwah named me Job. I used to be Jobab before Yahuwah named me Job. When I was called Jobab, I lived quite near a venerated idols temple. So he lived next to a temple where they worshiped idols at, right? As I consistently saw whole burnt offerings being offered up there, I began reasoning within myself, saying, is this really the Elohim who made Shemayim and the earth, the sea too, and our very selves? How shall I know? Chapter 3. One night I was in bed. A loud voice came to me, a very bright light, saying, Jobab, Jobab. And I said, yes, here I am. And he said, arise, and I will show you who this is whom you wish to know. This one whose whole burnt offerings they bring, whose drink offerings they pour, is not Elohim. So the light is letting them know, or the angel, or Yahusha, for all you non-messianics out there, was telling them that these sacrifices that they pouring and all these drinks that they drinking and all this stuff that they sacrificing to this quote unquote God, that's not Elohim, who created heaven, who created Shemayim and earth. That's not him at all. Rather, his the power of the devil, by whom nature is deceived. That's quoting Revelation 12:9 about the devil who could deceive the whole world. All right. And when I, Salachyah, now let's keep going. When I heard these things, I fell on my bed worshiping and saying, my master, who came for the salvation of my soul, I beg you, if this indeed is the place of Satan by whom men are deceived, grant me authority to go and purge his place, so that I may put an end to the drink offerings being poured for him. Who is there to forbid me, since I rule this region? He's the king, so he's there. Who gonna stop me? I'm the king of this place. I'm the king around here. All right, so it says this in chapter 4. The light answered me and said, you shall be able to purge this place, but I am going to show you all the things which Yahuwah charged me to tell you. And I said, whatever he has charged me, his servant, I will hear and do. Whatever he has charged me, his servant, an Edomite who's a servant of Yah, I will hear and do. And again he said, thus saith Yahuwah, if you attempt to purge the place of Satan, he will rise up against you with wrath for battle, but he will be unable to bring death upon you. See, that coincides with the book of Job in the Bible that people consider canonical, where Yah told Satan, do whatever you want to do, just don't kill Job. You see? All right. He will bring on you many plagues, but he will take away for himself your goods. He will carry away off your children. But if you are patient, I will make your name renowned in all generations of the earth till the consummation of this age. And I will return you again to your goods. It will be repaid to you doubly. so you may know that Yahuwah is impartial, rendering rendering good things to each one who obeys. You shall be raised up in the resurrection, like we just read in the Septuagint. For you will be like a sparing athlete, both enduring pains and winning the crown. Then you will know that Yahuwah is just, true, and strong, giving strength to his elect ones. So an Edomite is going to be resurrected amongst the righteous and be a part of the elect ones? But I thought it was only going to be Israel. Make it make sense, man. Here we go. So it says this. And I, my little children, replied to him, till death will I endure, and I will not step back at all. After I had been sealed by the angel when he left me, my little children, then having arisen the next night, I took 50 youths with me, struck off for the temple of the idol, and leveled it to the ground, so that I withdrew into my house, having ordered the doors to be secured. Now this just continues on how Satan attacked him for trying to, do righteousness, right, in the earth. But let's just we're going to keep this in mind when I go to this. This is going to go to the Testament of Job, chapter 29, verse 3. It says this: Eliphaz, the king of the Temanites, turned to me and said, are you Jobab, our fellow king? Now this is Job talking. He said, I wept head and throwing dust on it, and said to them, I am indeed. So he said he is Jobab. Okay, so the Edomites knew him as Jobab, but y'all knew him as Job. Now keep this in mind. Eliphaz, the king of the Temanites. Now let's go to the book of Job, chapter 2, verse 11. It says this: Now when Job's 3 friends heard of all this evil that was come upon him, they came every one from his own place. Eliphaz the Temanite, Bildad the Shuhite, Zophar the Namathite, for they had made an appointment together to come to mourn with him to comfort him. Now keep this in mind. Even if Job was an Israelite, as camps say, or people who just can't accept the fact that there were other people who were righteous other than Israel say. All right, so he's a king in the land of Edom as an Israelite. So if he comes across a group of unrighteous unrighteous Edomites who knew the deal between Israel and Edom, because by that time Israel and Edom already had animosity. But they came across him. Don't you think they slay him on the spot? Because they knew he was an Israelite, right? But he had 3 Edomite best friends who came to check on him in his time of grief. But he was an Israelite, though, right? But if you don't believe me about the animosity between Israel and Esau, or Israel and Edom, let's go to the book of Jubilees, chapter 37, verse 18 through 19. It reads this: And then Esau answered and said unto him, Neither the children of men nor the beast of the earth have any oath of righteousness, which in swearing they have sworn an oath valid forever. But every day they devise evil one against another, how each may slay his adversary and foe. And thou dost hate me and my children forever, and there is no observing of the tie of brotherhood with thee. There is no observing the tie of brotherhood with thee. So that means from generation to generation, Israel and Edom would have problems. And anybody who's read the scriptures know dang well Israel and Edom had mad beef. Mad beef. Obadiah's one. They love to use that book to try to prove Esau the white man when they can't do it. But Obadiah's one book, Amos 1:9, when y'all say he forgot the brotherly covenant, which don't make him a white man, because if I forgot a brotherly covenant between another brother, that don't make me a white man either. Okay? But y'all will say, well, but if Job is an Edomite, how is he righteous? All right, let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 14, verse 14 through 20. And it reads this: Though these 3 men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, were in it, they they should deliver but their own souls by their righteousness, saith Yahuwah Elohim. If I cause noisome beasts to pass through the land, and they spoil it, so that it be desolate, that no man may pass through because of the beasts, though these three men were in it, as I live, saith Yahuwah Elohim, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters, they only shall be delivered, but the land shall be desolate. Or if I bring a sword upon that land, and say, sword, go through the land, that I cut off man and beast from it, though these three men were in it, as I live, saith Yahuwah Elohim, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters, but they only shall be delivered themselves. Or if I send a pestilence into that land, and pour out my fury upon it in blood, to cut off from it man and beast, though Noah, Daniel, and Job were in it, as I live, saith Yahuwah Elohim, they shall deliver neither son nor daughter, but they shall, Salachyah, they shall but deliver their own souls by their righteousness. Their righteousness. So that lets you know off the rip that Job was righteous. And he was an Edomite. Now, my only question to people who think only Israel can be righteous or Israel can be saved. Quick question. This excerpt mentioned Noah. So was Noah an Israelite? We know Daniel was an Israelite, obviously. But was Noah an Israelite? Was Abraham an Israelite? Was Isaac an Israelite? Was Seth, whom we all come from, who come out of Adam, is he right? Is he an Israelite? Was Shem an Israelite? Was Lot an Israelite? Was Melchizedek an Israelite? I thought so. None of them dudes was Israelites. Not at all. Not a single one of them. But they were righteous though. But y'all, and they also teach that other nations besides Israel are going to be cut off and they can't be saved. We just read in the book of Acts. But let's go to the book of Revelation chapter 7 verse 9. This is something they can't get around because this is at the end of the book. So you can't debunk this. Here we go. Revelation 7 and 9. It says this. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations, not all nations except Esau or Israel, and no other nations are there, or only Israelites and, white people. All right, here we go. And kindreds and people and tongues as different languages. So, if, different languages, that can include Chinese, Italian, Japanese. So that means that people in the remnant of their race that are righteous and know where the Jews and yada, yada, yada can be saved. Okay, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our Elohim, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. So that means every nation there, because there are people there who say that only Israelites are going to be saved, or all Israelites are going to be saved, or they say the great multitude of all nations really just means Israel, who was scattered there and kind of sort of look like those people there. Boy, the lies of these people. All three of those things are lies. And they can't show you in scripture. They just go based off their own understanding. But let's go to the book of chapter 4, verse 2. The book of Micah chapter 4 verse 2. This is in the Old Testament, because y'all say, well, salvation for other nations only come up in the New Testament. But this is in the Old Testament. The book of Micah chapter 4 verse 2. It says this. But in the last days, Salachyah, verse 1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of Yahuwah shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it. And many nations shall come and say, many nations shall come. Many nations. Not many nations except Esau. That means many nations shall come and say, come and let us go up to the mountain of Yahuwah, and to teach the house of Elohim of Jacob, and to the house of the Elohim of Jacob. And he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the Torah shall go forth out of Zion, and the word of the Lord, or the word of Yahuwah from Jerusalem or Jerusalem. That means every nation. Every nation. Many nations. Dang. So wouldn't that mean the Edomites would be there too, according to Revelation and Micah? I don't know. Y'all gotta stop listening to them false prophets, though. And also, I can show you scriptures where he said Israel was wicked, too. Because if they wasn't wicked, we wouldn't be here in this predicament right here. Okay? Even in the book of Ezekiel, it tells you that we made Sodom and Gomorrah look righteous, and we know what Sodom and Gomorrah was about. But with that being said, I wish grace and peace unto you all. I pray that all of you who were watching and watched were edified. Shalom and Shabbat Shalom.